Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Muneeb and I am a third year PhD student at Swinburne University, Australia. Today in this video, I will discuss about 5 important things, or you can say 5 major things that I highly recommend every PhD student to do in their first year of their PhD. Like it could be first year or first 6 months, but I would highly recommend that everyone should do these things in order to, you can say, ease the process or ease the journey of their PhD or getting the degree. So first thing that I would recommend is you should find your working style. Like some people are early bird, some are night owls, so you should find your working style which suits you best. Like if you are you can say a good or you can say you find reading at night more convenient, or you find reading in the morning more convenient, or whatever is your working style, you should find your working style in the first few months, and then make a healthy plan according to that studying style, and then be consistent to it. So consistency is the key. First of all, like find your working style, make a plan over it, and then make it consistent. Like do not, you can say, overrule your this plan of yours for like minor things or anything like that. So make a healthy style, and this will help you throughout your PhD, and you will be able to complete your all the tasks, or you can say all the requirements within the timeline, if you will remain consistent to your plan. The second thing that I would highly recommend is you should identify your main research areas. Like what is the scope of your you can say scope of your research, or how far you can extend your research, or what are the possible outcomes of your research. So you should be identifying all the scopes and all the possible direction and all the, you can say, required material within the first few months, or you can say within first 6 months, like after, right after doing your literature review or completing your literature review or during your literature review. So you should be identifying all these things, writing them down, so that you will be clear that okay, I can move up to this extent in my research. So when the scope is clear, you will be able to perform better. The third thing that I would highly recommend is you should identify some of the top researchers of your field. For example, in my field, Professor Dusit Niato is one of the top ranked researcher, and similarly Professor Ikram Hussain and multiple other researchers. So you should identify some of the top researchers of your field, and you should continuously check their profiles, like their Google Scholar profile, their DBLP profiles, their personal web pages, and all these things. You can even set up Google alerts for their profiles or their names. So whenever they publish some work, you should check their work, that what exactly they are publishing. This will give you a brief idea that what are the possible, or you can say the future trends that are going to change your field, or what are the possible research problems that you can tackle during your PhD. So make a list of all the researchers, top ranked researchers of your field, and continuously check their profile, like right after 1 week, 2 week, or 3 weeks. That's up to you, but keep on checking their profile. The third tip that I would recommend is checking the profile of top researchers and keeping yourself up to date. The fourth thing is you should identify the top journals and top conferences of your field. This is quite critical. For example, like you can make the deadlines for the conferences, that the deadline of this conference is going to happen this time. So you can even make a calendar of all these things, that I can target this specific conference, like either whether you can target a specific conference or not. So I would recommend to identify some of the top journals and top conferences of your field, so that you keep yourself up to date with their research and their upcoming events as well. For example, sometimes some journals also have special issues. For example, if you are working in the field of cybersecurity, some of the journal, let's say transaction or information forensics, might have some special issue within your research area. So you should identify these top conferences or top journals, and keep up checking their profile, like what are their early access articles, what is being published over there, and what are the issues or special issues they are currently dealing with. So this will give you more insights that how you can perform better during your PhD. The last and the most important thing is I would recommend you to learn about your supervisor, because every supervisor has a different way of dealing with students. Every supervisor teaches students in a different manner. Every supervisor have their different orientation, different expectation. So you should have like certain meetings with your supervisor, like try to get more information about your supervisor, that what is his working style, what type of outcome he requires. For example, some supervisors demand certain we can say theoretical work, some demand that you should be working over some specific simulations. Some Every supervisor has certain demands from their students, or you can say certain expectations from their students, that my students should be publishing in these venues, my students should be publishing should be carrying out this type of work, should be carrying out more theoretical work, more simulation based work, more lab based work. So you should know your supervisor. So how you can learn about your supervisor during your meetings, you should try to get information from him, that what are his expectations. You can ask from your previous students of your lab, and all these things you should learn about your supervisor, so that you can fulfill his expectation, his or her expectations, so that you'll develop a very healthy relation with your supervisor. So these are the five things that I would highly recommend that everyone should work over. The last thing that is not for your PhD, but that will be helpful after your PhD, is you should be developing your profile on all the possible research based platforms. For example, you should have a very highly updated LinkedIn profile. Let's say if you publish any article, you should be posting it up on the LinkedIn. And similarly, you should have a Publons profile if you are doing reviewing work. I have made a separate video on the reviewing, that what is the importance of being a reviewer. So if you are reviewing something, or then you should have a Publons profile. Similarly, you can make researchgate profile to disseminate your work. Certain of the profiles such as ORCID, and so, I have a specific video that what are the platforms that our researchers should explore further. You can check them up. I will also try to add the link in the description. So this will not be helpful. This might will not be helpful during your PhD, but it will be helpful after your PhD. For example, if you will disseminate your work properly, you will have more chances of getting noticed in the community, and you might will have certain good possibilities of positions after your PhD. Similarly, if you will disseminate your work, you will be able to get some good citations. People will read your work, and they might will cite your work in their papers. So this will increase your chances of number of citations. And similarly, after your PhD, you will be able to approach certain people if you are in contact with these people. So you can explore these platforms such as LinkedIn, Publons, ORCID, ResearchGate, and all similar platforms regarding your research work. So these are the things that you should take care of. And that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you are new, you should I would highly recommend you to subscribe to the channel, so that you keep yourself updated with my videos as well. Thank you so much. Bye bye.